Dave, your saber is ready. A few things just to go over. We've got the Jimmy's Junk chassis done with a non-removable 18650 battery, Neopixel buttons, and a stock Custom Works illuminated PCB connector for your blade. Red Proffi as you had asked for, with the SD card virtually impossible to get to, so you can use the USB to access the SD contents. 24mm bass speaker from KR Sabers. It sounds actually phenomenal, with a little bit of polyester film here just to make sure that the hilt doesn't short the speaker connectors to it and causing any sound loss. 2.1mm recharge port, it's all set up and good to go, and the kill key, which you rotate 180 in order to turn the chassis on.
Rise.
And of course we've got your blinkies. Pretty nice chassis overall, of course with the responsive effects. So now I did have to make a spacer to go into the bottom of the hilt to make sure that the chassis doesn't fall too far down, and there's actually a I'll turn off the blinky so you can see. There's a small indentation here in the chassis that allows a small plastic rivet to go in and help locate the chassis so it doesn't fall back and forth when it's inside. Okay, so installation of the chassis is pretty straightforward. I have to do this bare hands because it's a little bit awkward otherwise. If you take a look at the chassis itself, there's a little indentation right here that's been made to line up with this hole directly center of the two blinkies. Turn the saber on obviously by rotating the charge port. Slide the chassis in. What we're going to do is just line up that little indentation right there in the hole, and we're going to take this plastic rivet and slide it right into that hole. Then the first part of the emitter will slide on with a bit of friction, making sure you get it aligned left to right. Then you can slide the last piece of the emitter on and screw it in place. Now in the bottom of the saber I've made this spacer to go in there, and it lines up with the speaker exterior, or the perimeter of it, around the circumference. Take the emitter, or sorry, the pommel rather, and slide it in the bottom, and then you're able to just get this screw to line up fairly easily. The hilt is set up with some blinkies. They'll go rather randomly when they're idling, the aux button being the red one and the green one being the ignition button. So to turn it on, just push the button. Obviously we've got our stock Custom Works stuff in there. Should be noted that it's all responsive, so these will actually light with it. Cycle through your fonts.
First order was just the beginning. Hear him now. You're fulfilling your destiny. Now. Yow! Yow!
Anakin, I told you, Captain Ish. I was right. The Jedi taking over. I'm too weak. Don't kill me, please.
That's of course your battery level. Come right around to the front. So we'll go to get ready to put a blade in it. So just a word on removal of the chassis. It's in there reasonably tight, but not terrible. The best way to try is to get the emitter pieces off. Watch out when you pull this off. Exert just a little bit of tension on the top of your connector or your PCB here, and then this rivet will pop right out. Now, ideally that should allow it to come out the front, nice and easy, and then you can drop it back in again. That way you can turn off your main power by rotating your charge port kill key. If it were to ever get stuck for whatever reason, you can take the emitter off with the spacer and then try to use a piece of blade or whatever just to push the chassis back. up, just in case. These Neopixels are in there quite well, but if they ever were to get jammed up or anything goofy, it is a very tight hilt. There is a way to get out of it. Alright. So a lot of these newer hilts, they don't actually have, especially on these short pin ones, they don't have a retention screw, which is a little bit of a pain. They intend for you to use some kind of film or paper to hold the blade in. In this case, we've got some polyester film tape, basically, that's gone on the outside. It's not conductive or anything, so you don't have to worry about it touching, but it does match the color of this particular Sidious hilt. You get just the right amount of wrap on your blade for this to retain and make a connection. And then, of course, once you've got a connection, the blade will illuminate. What I've done is put in the box a bunch of that tape on a roll for you. It'll focus there, so you can wrap and re-wrap if you need be to get the hilt to look just the way you like. I found that 2 wraps seems to work pretty good. Each wrap works out to 2.2 thousandths of an inch, so that's 0.0022 inches. So 2 wraps making up 4.4 thousandths of an inch. So I've got quite a few blade styles saved in here. I guess I'll let you discover each of them and have fun with them. The Neopixel blade looks amazing. Hopefully you enjoy your Sidious hilt.
Will soon be ready.
I know I certainly enjoyed installing it. Thanks a lot.